Money is the root of all evil. If you think about it, it actually makes perfect sense. Most people do evil not for a cause, but for self-gain. That gain is usually in monetary value. It can be done for various reasons, but most of them is to improve life or lessen the load a bit. If you're starving, you're probably broke, and since you most often need money to eat, that's what you look for. It may cause people to turn to crime and do questionable things such as robbing someone or even killing a person for their valuables. If you're addicted to illicit substances, then you may do crime to get your next fix. It would most likely involve stealing, but may also cause a person to rob someone, breaking into someone's home, or even kill. Money also causes people to lose perspective of what may be considered more important in the world, such as overall prosperity. A lot of business are focusing more at making money than caring what their products do to the world. The oil business is one such thing. They're selling a product which is dangerous to the environment, and since fossil fuels are at limited supply, the price goes up, and the pricier it gets, the more likely people are to go into that business and continue the circle. Legal drugs are another thing. For this, I'm talking about both tobacco and alcohol. Both industries are earning billions of dollars each year. Because people are and have become accustomed to certain traditions and expectations. Most people in the world has or will drink alcohol, because it's considered the norm, just as it is for people to put on clothes before going out in public. It's so accepted to the extent that instead of banning this substance that cause a lot of misery in the world, we allow it, simply because it'd be social suicide to prohibit it. It causes violence and death on a very large scale, even when it's not abused. People tend to do a lot of things while drunk that they otherwise wouldn't do, because the alcohol is affecting their judgment. Such things as driving drunk, violently or sexually abuse people, and making important decisions, best left to a sober mind. One may argue that the companies are not in the wrong because they're just selling the product, not doing the deeds. However, they're definitely enabling it, which leads to the problems. As of the tobacco issue, it's quite obvious that it harms. It even says so on the label, yet people do smoke every day. It wouldn't be such a problem if it didn't cause harm to other people. Second- and third-hand smoking are issues most people have to deal with on a daily basis. It especially affects already sick people. If you've got asthma or a similar condition, it's especially hard because of the whole breathing thing. Most of the smoke goes out into the air, where other people usually are. Smokers are ruining other people's health, and tobacco companies, who are literally earning billions, are totally okay with this. Third-hand smoking may not be as heard of as second-hand smoking, but it does affect people with allergies as well as otherwise health people. It's about the many different and dangerous particles that get stuck in your clothing when you smoke. It may be enough to sit next to a smoker while traveling to attract these small particles. It may seem insignificant, but it really isn't. One cigarette may actually be able to kill you. It sounds surreal, right? But it's true. You can die due to cardiac arrest from the many harmful chemicals in a cigarette. You can also attract cancer from just one cigarette. Yet, this information is not advertised, because that would cut in on their profits. Profits, 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 it's all about the profits. Upon all this, real development is hindered because people don't want to lose their profits. Real developments such as clean and next to free energy, which we have the ability to provide to the whole world within years if we started today. The oil industry certainly wouldn't stand for it. So it's just cheaper to bribe the right people to block progress. That's another thing ruining life for a lot of people. We have also had the ability to cure world hunger for a good while now. But it's not profitable to do it, so it's not getting done fast enough. Money and power usually comes hand in hand, because the more money you have, the easier it is for you to influence people. It's because most people lack the moral high ground and will take the easier way if possible. It's easier to take money than actually doing honest work for it. I would say that we put too much focus on earning money in a world where we actually don't need money. If we eliminated a currency-based system and implemented a system that rewards citizens' life-enhancing products based on their contribution to society, it would take away a lot of the stigma money has and the need for it to survive. Everyone would be able to have housing, food, energy, and a roof over their head. Since money isn't an issue anymore, it would just be a question of getting enough materials to build. It'd put more focus on the profession you are in, and if you're a builder, you're doing change by providing homes. If you're a politician, then you're doing good by changing how things are. If you're a garbage man, then you're doing change by keeping the streets clean. If you're a lawman, then you're doing change because of the people you are keeping safe. Without a currency which we would aim to acquire to just be able to live, the world would probably be a much better place than it is today. The industries or people who are causing harm, they'd still be jailed and they wouldn't get any life-enhancing benefits because they're causing damage to society rather than improving it. It's a beautiful idea, right? But sadly too far-fetched for today's societies so dependent on trade-based economy. They probably don't realize that we don't need an economy to get around. We just need one person willing to stand up and say, "I've had enough."